Ladies and gentlemen, this is Poland Daily Business. Polish economy is charging ahead despite a slight slowdown in the world. 5% in 2019 of GDP growth annual basis. One of the top locations in the world for foreign direct investments. Great exports still growing, especially to the countries outside of the European Union. Great perspective for export to United States, great perspective to export to Canada and these markets. Also, new markets are being developed like China, Japan, Vietnam, Africa, you name it. Yet, what we learn about Poland from the world press, that this is the country that started the World War, that is full of anti-Semites and so on, which maybe by some of you described as BS in a pure form. Artur Wróblewski of Łazarski University, sir, how do you make it out? Why Russia is attacking Poland these days?
Some people are saying, even in Poland here, that this is so because we made some mistakes, because we were trapped by Putin. I would say that paradoxically, Putin is attacking Poland because of our many successes. He is simply very frustrated, aging man. And he's frustrated because when you look on his records right now, you can see many problems for Putin. For example, he failed to find solution and seal the agreement with Belarus about bigger, deeper integration. He has
Friedman point on that, this famous geopolitical analyst, that this may be the reason, the Belarus and this competition between Poland, European Union and Russia.
And Belarus is trapped between, but we see that Lukashenko, maybe he's not now perceiving Putin as the stronger partner, and he does not think it's a good idea to integrate more in this Eurasian community or union Putin proposed to Mr. Lukashenko. But also Putin has invoice to pay to Ukraine after the arbitrage in Stockholm, which was actually not good for Putin in this problem with Ukraine over gas transfer through Ukraine. He also failed to accomplish other things, like, for example, build this modern Russia. Pensioners protested against him in 2018. He wanted to develop near Moscow in Skolkovo a big Silicon Valley, like in California, which would be a technological hub for the whole world to follow. It was also not good. It was not a success for Putin. Also remember that Putin lost Central Europe because of Free Seas Initiative, because of Poland accomplishments in regard to regional policy or looking into our partnership with the United States. He lost this area because we signed contracts with energy companies in the United States, military companies. So to some extent, he lost Central Europe. So Putin is frustrated. That's why he's attacking Poland. He would never attack Poland if he had Poland in his pocket, because the story is different. He's trying to vent his frustration.
Singling out Poland, he's also paradoxically lifting up the value of Poland. It seems that for big Russia, that normally neglected the small and middle-sized countries in the world, they spoke only to the big guys, the China, India, United States, Japan, maybe Germany, but not to Poland, you know.
So it became a kind of superpower, at least in Putin's attacks.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
But also Poland, to some extent, contributed to this famous Pentagon Act, which stopped or halted or put burden on Nord Stream 2 project. Strategic, very important to Russia, but also to other countries in European Union, like Germany, which actually are becoming now more dependent on Russian gas, instead of building European solidarity promised to Poland before, but Germans are not interested in this now.
Russia's politics is on one side there are these economical advantages of selling to the big Russian market, which Poland is denied to. On another is wagging the big stick that Russia have, either their old bombers, either their rockets, either their troops. And these days it starts the big operation maneuvers, military maneuvers in Poland mainly and eastern flank of NATO. 20,000 American troops will be airlifted directly from the United States to Poland in a matter of hours rather than days. It be ready for deployment. That's
a sign
keep
of
a check on this Russian policy.
Poland's achievements. Let's remember that also we can travel now visa-free to the United States, which was impossible to overcome this problem for many years and decades. But actually this government, who is now in Warsaw, managed to accomplish it quite quickly. And Americans are now here in Poland. They created something which we call enduring presence. It's not permanent presence, but actually practically it's a permanent presence. We have permanent, but they are not called permanent bases, military installations of the United States in Poland.
Increased security to the business side, to the better conditions for investors?
Investors now, Poland became more credible. So investors are perceiving Poland as more secured place to invest money. That's why they are investing money, and that's why you have a GDP last year almost 5%, while GDP growth in Eurozone was something around 1%, in Germany less than 1%. So those numbers speak for themselves.
I cannot recall the GDP growth in Russia, but I can bet it's not as much as 5%, and this may be frustrating for
the economy
Russia's
is almost
authority.
shrinking in Russia. 59% of GDP is dependent on gas and oil export. We have 13% of people living in Russia below poverty line, and society is shrinking. In Russia, the demographic numbers are very worrisome. It's 1.59 per woman of childbirth. Putin spoke about this during...
Which is still more than in Poland.
During
we have
State of the Union, exactly, during State of the Union speech a few days ago. And he promised also social help and something like 500 plus as social spending to help boost the demography and economy of Russia. So they are in difficult straits from economic standpoint in Russia.
Thank you very much, Artur. Wróblewski of Łazarski University.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that was it for tonight's Poland Daily Business.